Hello, so my blended unit is on the solar system, so I decided to name my unit Miss Keeler's Astronauts. So this is the home page for the Google site, so when the students come to the site, this is what they'll see. Next we have our first lesson. Our first lesson is on the solar system. Students will be watching a flipped video to start off, so if I go to this link here in my Google Classroom, it'll prompt us to the assignment. So they're going to watch the video and then they're going to write down 3 planets that they would like to learn more about, because that is part of our collaborative project, but we'll get there later. So our first flipped learning video is on the solar system. So it's basically a solar system song that explains the different planets and different features about them. It's very catchy. I recommend everyone to watch it. But for the sake of the video, I will not play it. So that is our first post on Google Classroom. Now I'll go back to my Google site. Then they're going to submit the 3 planets that they're interested in learning about on the Google form. So here we're taking to the form. They're going to type their name here and select 3 planets that they would learn more about. So if I wanted to, I could say Danielle, and I want to learn more about Saturn, Venus, and Mars, and submit. And there it is, my response is recorded. Next, they will be doing an activity in class. So this activity, it'll take us right to our Google Docs. They're going to be constructing a scaled down model of the solar system. So basically they're going to watch a video on their tablet or iPad, laptop, whatever they're working with, and it's basically going to show them the comparison of the planets, and then they're going to be answering some questions, watch more videos, and then here's the directions. Basically, they're figuring out the diameter of each planet is already provided, how many times that is smaller than the sun, so different using division, and then they'll figure out the scaled down diameter, which is millimeters. And then they'll continue to work to figure out the distance from the sun that each planet is. They'll also be watching different videos to help them understand what is realistic, because most models provide this kind of model, and it doesn't really show the realistic distance. People think that Mercury and Venus are so close together when really they're miles and miles apart. So that is it for lesson number 1. It involves a lot of discussion, some activities, some reflection, and then we'll move on to lesson 2. This is about the moon. So the first part, they'll watch an Edpuzzle video on the moon. And this is also on the Google Classroom. So they'll watch this video about the moon. It talks about the different phases. It's pretty cool. And then they'll complete an assignment on Google Classroom. It is just going to, oop, I clicked the wrong one. Oopsies. Let me go back after this. There'll be what is the order of the phases of the moon. So they'll have to put down which order they think it is. So it's either going to be new moon, waning crescent, and they'll select that. Pretty simple. And then in class, they're going to watch a video of me explaining what we're going to be doing on EduCreations. It's basically creating the phases of the moon on this app and labeling them. It kind of just helps them really relay that information back and figure out what the actual phases of the moon are, because I couldn't even tell you before I was doing this video which order it went. And then after they create their own EduCreations Moon Phases video, they'll be doing an activity about why the moon has craters. This is really fun. It also kind of helps take stress out because you're throwing rocks at a fake moon. So here's the different sheet. It's pretty cool. There's different debrief questions. There's a little worksheet. It's very fun for them to do. They're going to be covering their desk, getting a little dirty, but what fun is it if they're not getting dirty? So that's that. And that's it for lesson 2. So lesson 3 is the reasons for the seasons. So they'll be watching a video on Google Classroom on Edpuzzle about the reasons for the season. And it's just a Bill Nye video, so it's really informative. And they'll basically be imitating this experiment for their own sake, but less advanced, because Bill Nye, he's a scientist. We're not that creative yet. in our classroom. But this is our little reasons for the seasons activity sheet, so it gives the instructions. They'll be answering some more questions in their notebook, using some flashlights. It's a pretty cool activity. So that's it for our 3 lessons, and now we're going to move on to our collaborative project. So this is going to be, with our assigned partner, you will be researching one of the 8 planets, the moon or the sun. Together they will create a PowerPoint presentation to present their findings to the whole class. So here is our link to the directions. So basically here's the partners that I just made up. And if we were actually implementing this unit, these would be created using that Google form, seeing which students liked which planet and creating so that everyone had some kind of say in not who they were partnered with, but what they would like to learn more about and become an expert on. So they're going to research that planet, star, the moon, and then they'll create Google Slides to present their findings to the class. And here's just 9 different prompts. I gave them some websites to help them find it, and I even gave them the rubric that they're going to be graded on. So the day before the presentation, they'll have the opportunity to go through their rubric with their partner to self-assess and see if there's anything they want to add before they present the next day. This is just a really important skill. I believe it'll help them become better critical thinkers. So I think it's important for them to self-assess their own work. So that is that rubric. And they'll also, when their peers are presenting, they'll be taking down notes of what they're learning. This way, they're not just doing nothing and not paying attention, but they have to hand in a copy of their notes. They're not going to be graded. I'm just going to be making sure that they were paying attention and listening to their peers present their hard work and findings. So basically, that is all I have. This is just the Edpuzzle. I guess I could pull up my Google Classroom. So yeah, this is my Google Classroom. This is what it looks like, the reasons for the seasons, what is the order of the phases of the moon, and we have our first one about the solar system, and that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.